5 value gems that you can easily find. People walk past these stones every day, mistaking them for worthless gravel. But inside, some of them hide fortunes that could change your life, if you know what to look for. Professional gem hunters know something you do not. They know that the ugliest rock in the creek bed might be worth more than your car. Some of these stones are rarer than diamonds, and most people would not give them a second glance. But if you learn to see the world like a prospector, you will never look at a riverbank, a dusty trail, or a mountain stream the same way again. By the end of this video, you will have the secrets to spot 5 hidden gems that could turn a lazy afternoon hike into a payday. Let's start with a stone that's fooled more people than any other. You see it in gravel driveways, in the bottom of your gold pan, or glinting in the sun after a rainstorm. It is rough, it is battered, and it looks like nothing special, just another pebble among millions. But inside, it hides a secret that has made Montana famous among gem hunters: the sapphire. Montana sapphires are the chameleons of the gem world. On the outside, they are often coated in a chalky, grayish skin, sometimes with a hint of blue or green peeking through. They look like river-worn marbles, not the glittering jewels you see in a jeweler's case. Crack one open and you might find a crystal so clear and blue, it rivals anything from Kashmir or Sri Lanka. These stones formed in ancient alluvial gravels, carried down from the mountains by Ice Age floods, and locked in riverbeds for millennia. The secret is hydrothermal activity, superheated water, deep underground, dissolving minerals, and redepositing them in pockets where sapphires slowly grow. So how do you spot a Montana sapphire in the wild? First, look for rounded, glassy pebbles in river gravels, especially in places like the Missouri River, Rock Creek, or the famed Yogo Gulch. The best stones are often small, think pea-sized or smaller, but they are heavy for their size, with a specific gravity of about 4.0. That means if you pick up a handful of pebbles, the sapphire will feel noticeably denser than quartz or feldspar. Use a 10 times loop to check for hexagonal crystal faces, or a telltale blue, green, or yellow flash beneath the surface. And here's the field test. Try scratching the stone with a steel knife. Sapphires are corundum, with a Mohs hardness of 9. If your knife cannot scratch it, but it scratches glass, you are onto something. For the final check, shine an ultraviolet flashlight on the stone. Some sapphires fluoresce a faint orange or yellow, especially the Yogo variety. Now, let's talk value. Most Montana sapphires found by amateurs are small and included, fetching $10 to $30 per carat. But a clean, vividly colored stone can jump to $100 per carat or more. The real prize is a large, transparent blue sapphire. Those can fetch thousands of dollars, especially if you find one over a carat with no visible inclusions. And remember, even the pale or greenish stones are prized by collectors and jewelers for their unique American origin. This is what nature hides from the impatient. But there is a stone that looks even more ordinary, so plain you would swear it was just a chunk of river gravel. Yet inside, it holds a secret star, a flash of light that only reveals itself to those who know the trick. I am talking about the star garnet, Idaho's hidden treasure. Star garnets are the ultimate ugly ducklings. On the outside, they are dark, almost black, with a rough, pitted surface that looks like volcanic slag. Slice one open and polish the face, and you might see a 4-rayed or 6-rayed star gliding across the surface, a phenomenon called asterism, caused by tiny rutile needles aligned within the crystal lattice. These stones formed in ancient alluvial gravels, washed down from the Idaho mountains and concentrated in places like Emerald Creek. The geology is pure poetry. Deep underground, heat and pressure fuse aluminum and iron into garnet crystals, which are then freed by erosion and carried into stream beds. So how do you find a star garnet? Head to the Emerald Creek Garnet area in Idaho, where the Forest Service runs a public dig. Look for dark, rounded stones in the sluice box or creek bed. They are heavier than most pebbles, with a specific gravity around 4.2, and they have a glassy luster when wet. The field test is simple. Rub the stone on an unglazed porcelain tile. Garnet leaves a white streak, not red. Then, shine a flashlight across a polished surface. If you see a star, you have struck gold, or rather, garnet. And do not forget the hardness test. Garnet rates 6.5 to 7.5 on the Mohs scale, so it will scratch glass, but not quartz. What is the payoff? Most star garnets sell for $5 to $15 per carat in the rough, but a well-cut, sharply starred stone can fetch $100 or more per carat. The rarest deep purple-red stones with a perfect 6-rayed star are collector's items, sometimes topping $500 for a single gem. This is the kind of stone that turns a muddy day in the creek into a story you will tell for the rest of your life. The earth rewards those who look twice. And if you're hungry for more locations and insider tricks, subscribe now, because the next stone on our list is the one that's fooled more prospectors than any other. It's soft, it's slippery, and it looks like a chunk of plastic or a piece of broken glass. But in the right light, it explodes with color. Flashes of red, green, and blue that can rival the northern lights. This is the opal of Nevada's Virgin Valley. Opal is the trickster of the gem world. In the field, it is often coated in a chalky white or brown skin, sometimes with a waxy luster that makes it look like nothing more than a weathered pebble. Break it open, and you might find a play of color so intense it seems to glow from within. These stones formed in volcanic ash beds, where silica-rich water seeped through the earth, filling cavities and cracks with a gel that slowly hardened into opal. The magic happens when tiny spheres of silica stack in perfect order, diffracting light into a rainbow. So how do you spot a precious opal in the wild? Head to the Royal Peacock Opal Mine, or Rainbow Ridge in Nevada, where you can dig for a fee. Look for nodules or chunks with a waxy, almost greasy feel. Opal is light, specific gravity around 2.1, and softer than most rocks, with a Mohs hardness of 5.5 to 6.5. That means you can scratch it with a steel knife, but not with your fingernail. The real test is the play of color. Hold the stone in sunlight and rotate it slowly. If you see flashes of red, green, or blue, you have found precious opal. For common opal, look for a milky or translucent body with no color play. Here is a pro tip. Some opals fluoresce under ultraviolet light, glowing green or white. What is it worth? Common opal sells for $20 to $100 per kilogram, but a single piece of precious black opal with strong play of color can fetch $1,000 to $5,000 per carat. The record for an amateur find at Royal Peacock is a stone valued at over $50,000. But even a small, colorful specimen can pay for your trip and then some. This is the stone that proves fortune favors the bold. But what if you are not in the mountains or the desert? What if you are just walking along a riverbank, skipping stones, or hiking a forest trail? That is where the next gem hides. So common, so overlooked, that people use it for driveway gravel. Yet inside it holds the secrets of ancient volcanoes and the power to dazzle collectors worldwide. I am talking about quartz, the most abundant and most underestimated gemstone in America. Quartz is everywhere, but not all quartz is created equal. On the outside, it can look like a chunk of glass, a cloudy pebble, or a dirty crystal with no sparkle. But inside, you might find amethyst, citrine, smoky quartz, or even rock crystal so clear it looks like frozen water. These stones form in hydrothermal veins, where mineral-rich water fills cracks in the earth and slowly cools, allowing crystals to grow over thousands of years. Sometimes they are found in geodes, hollow rocks lined with sparkling crystals waiting to be cracked open. So how do you find valuable quartz? Look for hexagonal crystals, often with six-sided points, in riverbeds, gravel bars, or exposed outcrops. Amethyst is purple, citrine is yellow, smoky quartz is brown to black, and rock crystal is clear. The field test is easy. Quartz has a MOHS hardness of 7, so it scratches glass, but not topaz. The streak is always white, and the luster is vitreous, glassy, not dull. For geodes, look for round, lumpy rocks that feel lighter than they look. Crack them open with a hammer and chisel, and you might find a miniature crystal cave inside. Here is a secret. Some quartz varieties like Herkimer diamonds from New York are doubly terminated crystals with points at both ends, prized by collectors. What is the value? Most quartz crystals sell for 50 cents to $5 per carat, but large flawless specimens can fetch $10 or more. Amethyst and citrine with deep color are worth more, especially if they are free of fractures. A single museum-quality quartz cluster can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. This is the stone that rewards patience and a sharp eye. Nature's abundance hides its own kind of rarity. But all of these stones pale in comparison to the one that has made more headlines, more millionaires, and more legends than any other. It is the only gem in America you can dig up, dust off, and sell for a fortune. No cutting, no polishing, just pure, raw value. And it is found in a place where anyone, from a child to a retiree, can walk in with a shovel and walk out with a life-changing discovery. This is the Diamond of Arkansas. Crater of Diamonds. State Park is the only public diamond mine in the world where you can keep what you find. On the surface, diamonds look like nothing, tiny greasy pebbles often coated in a brown or yellow skin. They are octahedral, sometimes with flat faces, sometimes rounded by weathering. The geology is unique. A Lamproie volcanic pipe blasted open 100 million years ago, spewing diamonds from the Earth's mantle to the surface. Over time, rain and erosion have scattered them across a 37-acre field, waiting for someone with sharp eyes and a little luck. So how do you find a diamond in Arkansas? First, look for translucent, glassy stones with an oily luster. Diamonds are heavy, with a specific gravity of 3.5, and they do not fog up when you breathe on them. The field test is legendary. Try scratching a piece of quartz with your find. If it leaves a mark, you might have a diamond. But the real trick is the UV test. Many Arkansas diamonds fluoresce blue under a long-wave UV light. And here is the pro move. Use a 10 times loop to look for sharp edges and crystal faces. Diamonds are often perfectly formed, even in the rough. Now, let us talk about the dream. In 2021, Noreen Redberg found a 4.38 carat yellow diamond at Crater of Diamonds, just lying on the ground after a rainstorm. She did not even recognize it at first. Park staff had to confirm it was the real thing. That stone was valued at over $15,000, and it is just one of dozens of high-value finds every year. In 2024, a visitor uncovered a 7.46 carat diamond, the 8th largest ever found at the park, worth tens of thousands. And in 2015, an 8.52 carat diamond was picked up by a tourist and valued at over $1 million. These are not legends. They are documented, real-world discoveries made by people who simply knew what to look for. This is the stone that proves fortune is not just for the experts. The earth keeps its best secrets in plain sight. So, how do you test your finds at home like a pro? Start with the scratch test. Use a piece of glass with a hardness of 5.5 and a steel knife with a hardness of 5.5 to 6.5. Quartz and garnet will scratch glass, but only sapphire, topaz, and diamond will scratch both glass and steel. For specific gravity, fill a small container with water. Weigh your stone in air and then in water, and use the difference to estimate density. Sapphires and garnets feel heavy for their size. Opal feels light. For streak, rub the stone on an unglazed porcelain tile. Most gems leave a white streak, but hematite and some jaspers will leave red or brown. And for the UV test, use a portable long-wave UV flashlight. Diamonds often fluoresce blue, rubies glow red, and some opals shine green or white. Always check multiple properties: color, luster, hardness, and heft before you celebrate. Remember, the difference between a doorstop and a fortune is just knowledge. You now possess the secrets of a professional prospector. The next time you walk a creek bed, hike a mountain trail, or sift through gravel, you will see the world with new eyes. And who knows, the next $1 million stone could be waiting under your boot. This is what nature hides from the ones untrained.